what is going to shape the real estate sector. So from where you sit, because you've been just taking care of the real estate and making sure that at least clients get holiday homes. Now, when you look at this year, in terms of growth, what are we looking at in real estate?
So on the supply side of real estate, construction of real estate unit is not going to get any cheaper. And how developers are going to counter it, rather how they're countering it already, is by now focusing on locally available materials to construct, because importing is very expensive, and developers tend to push the increase in construction to the buyers. So meaning the already expensive units are getting more and more out of reach for most of the people. So people will turn towards sustainability. And by this, we're talking about locally available materials, and also trying to, still on the point of sustainability, we're talking about people turning to solar energy instead of KPLC, as an alternative to KPLC rather, because the power costs are really high. People will also be looking at now reducing the cost of utilities such as water by having the sewer treatment systems, whereby you can use the grey water to do the landscaping instead of now using the water that is straight from bowls, for instance. So that being the case for the developers, most of the developers will for sure struggle to finish houses. Firstly, because of the constrained resources, financial resources, and even the timelines of finishing the units will be prolonged, because then you find a developer like Superior Homes is extending a longer payment period to a buyer instead of having a shorter period of time, which then means that then you accelerate the period of delivering the houses. Yeah, so that is poised to be quite a challenge for the supply side. But then on the demand side of real estate is that more and more clients will be turning to installment payment plans instead of mortgage, as I mentioned earlier, given that they are prohibitively high, given the current mortgage situation in the country. So there'll be less uptake of mortgages. The very same sector which has been underutilized, rather underexplored. Yes.
All right. Someone might be saying, okay, Superior Homes might be a little bit expensive, especially when if you're speaking about Vipingo. So is it the only place that you construct? Because someone might want to say, okay, I have something in Eldoret that I would want to focus on, and maybe I would want to contact people like Superior Homes. So do you only deal with clients who are able to pay a certain amount of money, or in a certain area, or you work across the country?
Yeah, so in terms of expansion, for sure, our plan is to expand throughout the country, but currently our focus is on areas that we see there are still opportunities to explore. Because, for instance, before we go to Eldoret, we want to ensure that in Nairobi we've exhausted all the opportunities that are there. That being said, we are trying to expand within the Athi River, where we've really stamped our presence in. And the other side of town, we're talking about the Kiambu side, which also has a lot of opportunity for a developer and also clients to get a piece of ownership on that side. So we'll focus in Nairobi and, of course, Vipingo, where we currently have places, before we can now expand out of those areas.
All right. And now, for example, a person, say a young person comes, they want to invest in real estate, and they say, okay, can you help me? So what is the process of what should they do, or what do you usually look at in terms of is this person able to pay for this? What goes into it?
So let's say if Kevin comes to Superior Homes and they want to own a unit, it all comes down to why are you looking to own a unit rather to buy a unit, because you're not just buying because people are buying.
Yes.
You have a reason for
maybe
buying.
Maybe you've paid rent for a very long time, so you just want to stop.
Yeah, so in that case, we'll just look at your budget and then try to match it up with whatever that we have available. And also that has to marry into the payment plan that we have in place. So you could be having a very good deal with a bank whereby you're getting mortgage at a good rate. If you're not going that route, we can give you a fairly long period of time for you to pay if you're salaried or if you're in business, so that then at the same time your needs and of course what we have is being paired for you to be able now to get a unit for the purpose that you are looking out for. Yeah.
All right. Even working with clients, especially when it comes to challenges with payments, how do you work around it? Especially when it comes to someone who's not able to give what they said they would pay. For example, if it's installments, they've planned installments, you've planned with them and said, okay, within this month you'll be paying this amount of money, within this month you'll be paying this amount of money, but they don't really give whatever they promised. So how does it work around that?
So if you have a payment plan and then for one reason or the other you are unable to fulfill it, the very first thing to do is to get to like a table to discuss on what options you have on the table and see how we can then accommodate you. If everything on the table fails, then I will turn to the sale agreement that we have in place, whereby it provides that you do terminate the contract. And of course, some percentage will be forfeited as an opportunity cost to the developer. But the very first approach is just to ensure that you're having that human-to-human discussion with the client and see how you can accommodate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now another issue, a bit technical. And when we look at, we had spoken about digital innovations. Let us look at how technology is also helping out. And in looking at technology, let us look at data.
Okay.
When you have a client's data, how have you secured their data? Because these days data breaching is almost everywhere in every sector. So when it comes to data of a client, and someone might say, okay, if I give them my information, it might be used for other different reasons. So how do you make sure that at least a client's data is safe?
Okay, so maybe just to give a background on how we are approaching that is that from time to time we will train our staff on how important it is just to keep the privacy, confidentiality of the data that the client has trusted upon us, and to also give the client that comfort that whatever that data that we're getting will not be used for anything rather other than now sharing information about things that could be helpful to them. For instance, new projects that we're coming up with, promotions that will be happening from time to time, and of course the new our sister projects, because we're not only in a residential real estate but also in hospitality as well. So the cross marketing bit of it. So we are by having trainings from time to time, that ensures that people who are dealing with the data are able to ensure that they are having the data protected in the right manner. Yeah.
All right. Now let's move on and look at a different issue, especially in real estate. When we look at the different countries that, of course, the East African region, Uganda, Tanzania, how they treat their real estate and how we manage our real estate, is there something that we can learn from the countries that maybe we are with in the EAC, or also other countries that you've maybe been able to visit in terms of real estate? What can we pick from different countries in order to manage our real estate sector very well?
Yeah, in terms of innovation in real estate, I think we are still ahead of the other countries. But if there's one thing that we can look towards to be able to borrow a leaf is on the cost of land, because when it comes to the price of a home, the biggest cost is on the land. So if we're able to encourage more infrastructure out of the urban centers, then we'll be able to get more cheap land, because people will not be investing in a place, let's say Konza, if there were no roads to that side. And of course, the more out you go from the urban area, the less the cost of land is. And I think that's one of the things that we can borrow from the neighboring countries, because at the end of the day, then that will reduce the cost of home ownership.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And also, now, some of the challenges, especially in real estate, and as you work with clients, what are some of the challenges that you usually come across, and how do you seal these gaps? Because someone might say, okay, this is a very tedious process, I don't need to do this, I'll just go and get land from my village and then just build something there.
The market is very jittery investing in real estate, especially off-plan real estate, given the experiences that people have had whereby a project starts and then doesn't really get to completion. So how we've countered it is that we have a very good track record of delivery, our flagship project, Green Park, being a testament to that. So you'll find that most of the people will look at what have you already done and then use that now to project whether you'll deliver on a project or not. But generally, there's a lot of skepticism in the market on investing in real estate, because also given it's a lot of money that you're going to put in as an investment. Yep.
All right. And now, as we now prepare to come to a close of this conversation, going forward in 2024, some of the new things that you think are going to be coming up in this particular sector, and what are we looking at in terms of superior homes? What do we expect from you in 2024, and how can people get to be just in contact with superior homes, and also even start a plan with you people?
Right. In 2024, with the government's initiative to ensure that people are getting affordable housing, the housing levy being a very hot potato,
yes,
as you'll appreciate. But it's a step in the right direction in ensuring that people are getting affordable housing. Of course, affordable being relative depending on how you look at it. So other than that, the government is also helping through the Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Corporation, whereby people are able to get mortgages at I think as low as 9.5% versus a market rate of 20%, which is really encouraging the people who do qualify for that to be able to get the mortgage financing. On the superior home side, we are done with our project in at the river, Green Park, and in the next few weeks we should be ready for the market for a new project at the river. The information should be shared in the course of February, and we keep on delivering on the Pazuri project for people who are looking to get their holiday homes. The shift that we're seeing in the market, where people are really moving in droves from the areas such as Mombasa, Nyali, to the Vipingo area. We keep on delivering to them houses, and also retirees who are moving to the coast. You'll be surprised that weather is a big factor when a person is looking to get a retirement home. So home weather being favored in that regard.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Clive, thank you so much for engaging with us and giving us your insights. That is Clive Ndege, who is the head